The contents of this box cost, I think, $172 from Aircraft Spruce. It is stupid expensive.
Like patinas and gets like covered in like moss and stuff and ages like 100 years as I'm looking at it. Damn, son, you better start building. First thing that pops in my head is wanker. Like they're a bunch of wankers.
Welcome back to We Are Not Experts, an airplane building podcast. Today's episode, recorded the 16th of August, 2026. Ordinarily, we tell you Chris and Tim are coming to you from their home studios. Plural. Not today. Today there's one studio, and both of them are in it. No latency, no excuses. Settle in with the two least qualified men in aviation.
I say we start it.
Well, let's do this. the long drawn out side.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back. This is We Are Not Experts, an airplane building podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Tim.
Tim, how the hell are you?
I'm outstanding.
There you go. Hey, this is episode 22, I promise.
Absolutely.
Episode 22 of what I'm sure will be more than 22 episodes of We Are Not Experts, an airplane building podcast. Last time we met you guys, we came to you from a special location. And today we're coming to you from a special location.
It's pretty special.
Yeah, this is actually the place that you usually see me recording, but you just don't see me recording with my man, Tim.
That's right.
Here in the studio. So when the wall right behind us, well, there's part of my airplane, and then behind that wall is the Gilbertson Aero Factory that honestly has been dormant for some time. We'll talk a little bit
mere inches away
more about that today. Yeah. But and then it's been has it been 3 weeks since Osh?
Yeah, since we did the last one.
Dang.
It's going so by
fast.
too quick.
So fast.
But that means the next one's that much closer now.
That's true. There's always that. 23 is right around the corner. Yeah, I have more thoughts on Osh. And honestly, I think probably half the thoughts I had I've lost just because it has taken so long to get back in here and do another recording. I know that you've been traveling.
Yeah, I just got back, what's today, Sunday? I got back Friday.
Okay.
So I was home for a grand total of a few days, and then I had to turn around and go to Edwards Air Force Base because I'm not there all the time. And went out there for almost 3 weeks.
Okay.
2.5-ish, and yeah, just got back, so.
I've been home quite a bit, but I was gone earlier this week. But the complication for me right now is just that I'm working on 3 really big projects, not aviation related, just money making related, but 3 really big projects along with the regular work that I'm doing. And then it's been a lot of travel this summer for me, different than yours. And it's a different kind of strain. I'm used to traveling a ton for work when I was working in the film industry. I'm used to traveling a ton. It's very different when it is traveling frequently out of pocket.
That's the big one right there.
That's the big one.
It's out of pocket.
I have long since burned through all of my diamond, platinum, whatever.
All
my points are long since gone, and I'm paying real money to do this stuff. So I'm home now for 6 weeks, I would say, until my next trip. One of my daughters is moving a month from today, but hopefully I'm gonna bring her out here for a couple-day visit before she moves to France. But yeah, so I came back from Osh pretty fired up. I mean, aviation-wise, and really thought that I was going to get some work done in the airplane.
Not so much.
No, man. It is. I mean, so it's, as you said, it's Sunday. Last night I worked until 12:45 a.m.
on non-airplane stuff.
Yeah. I worked straight through, and I've done this every weekend. Preceding Osh, maybe 4 weeks preceding Osh, and then every weekend since Osh, I've worked straight through till late in the night. These things will end eventually, but
they'll give you the money you need for airplane stuff. So
boy, you wish they would.
That's what you got to keep telling yourself. It makes it all worthwhile that way.
I know.
That's what I keep telling myself. All these trips away from home and all the stuff I want to be around, it's so that I can afford to do these other things that I want to do.
Yeah. So, but I definitely, I think that I'm in a different place mentally with respect to my build since Osh than I was before. Before Osh, I think it was still very mechanical. Oh, I need to put that aileron bell crank on and stuff like that. But after Osh, and then having the 18-hour drive home and stuff like that, a lot of time to think about it, my mind is more on systems and things like that, things that I have to plan for, or even things that I have to accomplish before I can close up the wings. I have to wire the wings and plumb the wings, and it sounds pretty straightforward, but there are choices that have to be made there, and a little bit of research involved. So although I have not had the time to get out in the garage and actually do the stuff, I have like stolen moments to kind of study up and learn and whatnot. And Garmin Axis is a sort of a new
changes things for you a little bit, doesn't it?
It does and it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, sure, like form factor a little bit different. It might make things a little bit easier in terms of like the amount of room that you'll have, behind the panel, but still the same. Like the ancillary stuff is still mostly the same.
I feel like especially for RV8 builders, both the announcements from Dynon and Garmin Axis were huge because panel space is at a huge premium for us.
Yeah.
And finding a way to squeeze that one last component in there is always a pain in the butt, which, I had figured out how to do, but now I have so much more room for activities.
Oh, yeah.
I was actually working on that recently, redesigning the center panel so I don't have that 175 in there. And now I don't know what to do with the spare room, but I have ideas.
Had you seen maybe a week or so before Osh, not Mark, but Mike Patey posted a video on Mark's channel? Something is going on with Mark and he hasn't been able to post for a while. And so Mike decided he's going to go ahead and do a video, and he's building a crazy Cub.
I saw it post, but I didn't actually watch the video.
Yeah. And he's putting, of course, a monster engine on it, which is...
Well, yeah, it's on brand for the family.
It's moving the firewall back, and it's compressing the space that he has for the panel. And so when I went into the Garmin booth, in the morning I'd gone to... Okay, we said last time that there were missed opportunities and we didn't go to enough stuff. Well, the next day I did actually go to one. I went to a Garmin... I think a Garmin Pilot. It was like sort of transitioning to Garmin Pilot kind of thing. I did that. Then I went in and I just first time all week, I went into the Garmin Pavilion thing, the huge thing, and looked around at it. And it is really on that Axis system, because they pull everything together. They don't protrude very deep into the instrument bay. And when I was there looking at them, it was me and a Garmin guy, and then just happened to be Mike Patey. And he was like, he's like, wait a minute. Like, that's it? This is as deep as that thing is? Because that was the big problem that he was trying to figure out in that video prior to that, was like, this is a really tight space I've got here. I got to figure out something for it. And then
everything's in that one little space now.
Yeah, he's like, okay.
Yeah, because for those that don't know, the original navigators, a GPS navigator, a 430, the new 175s, whatever, those are like a foot deep.
Yeah.
It's not just the faceplate. That thing goes all the way back in there. And now, with the Axis, it's just built into the screens, basically.
Right.
I assume the Dynon system with its remote one won't be an issue, because the screen's still going to be the same depth. So, yeah, it makes a big difference in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, if you think about it, like the screen doesn't have a lot of depth itself, and then the navigator, let's say, it's like, an old school like removable car stereo.
It slides into the blah punct of
exactly.
GPS.
Yeah, so that thing sits back there pretty deep, necessarily because you have to stack several on top of each other. But once it was all integrated, that all of the circuitry and everything there was no reason for it to go back. They could just drop it down and lay everything vertically, because the function was integrated into the screen entirely. So I saw maybe a week or so after Osh on YouTube. I forget. Oh, I know. It was I feel bad now that I can't remember the couple that we saw there that's building the 14 with the red.
Oh yeah.
RV9E or something that.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. They need a catchier name for their channel.
Yeah, it's slipping my mind too.
But he did a video on a new avionics company.
I saw that.
That's kind of wild.
It is. It seems really expensive when I first saw the price tag to it, but then legitimately when you compare everything you have to buy to make the Garmin system or the Dynon system work, it really is comparable.
Comparable. It's a little bit more expensive, but you just put it in.
You just put one thing in and it's done. Yeah.
Right. And so you're talking about months of your life not spent, even if you like it. So in other words, if you got a Garmin or Dynon system to a similar level of completion where you had advanced flight systems or somebody build the panel and harnesses and everything like
panels.
Then the price is comparable, actually maybe a little less expensive.
Probably.
But it's kind of neat. I would like to kind of experience the sort of smart functions of it, the intuitive. That would be fun. But I also I did actually go to the website and look at it. You probably did too.
I did. Yeah.
I don't think it's still too wide for an RV8.
It would be a squeeze to get into an RV8.
Yeah.
But it is impressive looking. And more importantly, I mean, if they become the big player that it looks like they're trying to be, then it's just more competition for Dynon and Garmin. So hopefully some more of these prices come down a little because, damn. I mean, I'm faced with it right now because I'm at that point where I have to start buying some of this stuff. I've gone a slightly different route because some opportunities presented themselves to me. So some money's going to get spent elsewhere, but it's all money that's got to be spent on the plane. So it really doesn't matter what or when, because it all just has to happen. I did go to some of that stuff we were talking about too after we recorded at Oshkosh, because the next morning we both felt more disciplined, like we had to go do something. So you went to the Garmin one, I went to one of the Dynon briefings, and it was good. I learned a lot of good stuff that I did not know before, which was good to learn. And I think I went to one other one, and now I can't remember what it was, but yeah, maybe next year I'll be a little more thorough with going to some of the symposiums and some of the classes.
I think so for sure. It's definitely the first time going there. There was a little bit of FOMO, like, am I really going to give 90 minutes to sit inside this lecture? Yeah, am I going to miss something?
You want to see everything.
If you don't go to any presentations or anything like that, and if all you do is like look at airplanes and then look up, guess what? You are still going to miss stuff.
Oh yeah.
So just surrender.
We did as much as we could. We saw as much as we could. Yeah. We did not go to that many classes or symposiums or anything like that. We still didn't make it out to the museum. I went last time, but we didn't go this time. So we didn't get out to the museum. We didn't look at any of that stuff. 2 years in a row now, I wanted to go down to the seaplane base and go see some of that. Still haven't made it down there for that. And then we've caught like the tail end of one of the night stole competitions. Well, twilight stole competitions.
Yeah.
Need to be in the stands for that one next year because that was pretty cool.
I think the only way to really feel satisfied, like you've seen everything, experienced everything, is just to keep on going. So there I think it was a missed opportunity, or there were missed opportunities. There were things that I wish that I had I mean, those presentations will be back again next year, but probably just slowed down a little bit. Not doing the just blindly trying to walk through every barn and look at every vendor just in case something miraculous jumps out at you. It's kind of cool, but at the end of the day, Jeff did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Our buddy Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, randomly looking at the vendors helped me a little bit, or it helped me spend money a little bit, I guess. 'Cause
Yeah.
I got talked out of some money while I was there, but it's all good. The stuff I needed eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works out. Some of the stuff I went to go look at, though, I know there's vendors that were there that I never even found. I couldn't find them. So it is what it is.
I think it's kind of like when, I was going to say the grocery store, you have an idea what you want, and then you go there and your mind goes completely blank. But then actually what it just reminded me of was we're not too far apart in age, but back in like the 80s and 90s, you had this huge list in your head of every CD you wanted to buy. And then as soon as you walked into Sam Goody, nothing was in your head.
Nope.
Yeah.
You get that smell of the store when you walk in, and then you go wandering off and what's this? What's that?
Yeah.
And then you're listening to some random stuff and you come out with like 8 different things you didn't plan to get.
That's right. So you got to have a plan going in, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like on Osh thing next year, I didn't even look at like a schedule or anything before I went. I looked at how to get there. That's as much. But
it worked out. You got there.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little more planning probably. And I thought about it this year and I just didn't look at the schedule. And I think part of it is because the year before, I really did do that. I had a plan of I'm going to go do this, I'm going to do that. But I had never tried any of that before. So my plan was beautiful on paper and in my head until I physically had to get from one booth all the way across the field to another one in less than 5 minutes. And the math wasn't mathing anymore. It's like, I'm not going to make it. And by the end of the first day, it just all went out the window.
Yeah. Have you in the past couple of weeks watched any of the like airplane camping videos?
I've seen a bunch of stuff. I watched a lot of Kennard Boulevard because he did a lot of good coverage on what happened at Fisk, and we were on the ground when it opened up.
Right.
So we were sitting there listening to our radios and watching the arrivals from our side, listening to them coming in. Mm-hmm. And I mean, for anybody that doesn't know or has seen his stuff, he talks about everybody was on a hold for the smoke and the visibility at Oshkosh. And I don't even remember what time it was. It was in the afternoon.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they announced that the weather was good, and it was like the floodgates opened and people that were sitting on the ground from feeder airports everywhere just started flooding in, and the conga line got overcrowded, and it was twofold problem. There's 2 routes that come in. There's like a 130 knot higher route and there's a 90 knot lower route.
Yeah.
But they closed the higher route. So now every airplane was on the 90 knot route, and you've got planes that can't physically fly that slow, and you've got some planes that can't physically fly that fast. And they're all in one big steady line together trying not to run into each other. It was chaos.
Yeah.
So hopefully some of that gets sorted out for next year. But it was fun to listen to on the ground.
Yeah. I still really want to do it.
Oh, absolutely.
I really want to do it. I mean, part of it is like rite of passage, say you did it kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
But then, what we witnessed on the ground there, the airplane camping looked pretty fun. But then when I watched some videos from people, and actually one of them was like from 2019, this couple who had flown in there, and they're like, this is the video that I wish I had before. And the amenities for airplane camping are much, I guess, better than I thought. Everything that we had out there in Camp Scholler, they've got it going on in there, but it actually looks pretty great. It would be fun to do.
Oh yeah. Camp under your wing, and especially if you get one of the nice spots and you can just sit under the shade of your wing and watch the air show.
Right. Yeah. So I was thinking, it'd be a stretch, but it would be awesome if we could fly in next year.
Yeah, I looked at it and did the math already too.
Yeah.
It would be a lot.
Yeah.
It would definitely be a lot, but it would be fun.
Yeah, it would be fun.
It would be absolutely fun. And I know somebody willing to drive a support vehicle with,
Exactly.
with extra equipment and, and stuff that we need. So
the Realm Dot, I think is what they call it. The campground that is not shoulder, but it's right there across, right where that little... Yeah. That place is... It must be difficult to get a spot in there. I think you got to know somebody to get a spot in there.
I think a lot of that stuff is like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, there's parts of shoulder that are really nice and really convenient and really never accessible.
Yeah.
Because
there are people who show
out.
up like 6 weeks prior.
Yeah. Wow. That's all I can say is, what do you...
Wish I had that kind of time.
Yeah. I wish I had that kind of financial freedom and just freedom to go, I'm just going to sit at Camp Shoulder for the next 5 weeks until the show starts.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think it would be super fun if we could swing it, if we could find a way to make it happen in a high wing.
That you got to have the high wing, because you're not going to sit under the wing of an RV8 or something like that.
Yeah. It would be even cooler if it could be something like a 185.
That would be seriously cool.
Yeah, but that would require somebody to go, we would love for you guys to fly our 185.
Here, fine.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I did just do my flight review today. So
That's right, yeah.
I'm current and legal.
Yeah.
If you're out there and you want to donate a plane to the cause.
For at least the next day and a half, one of the best pilots in the world, probably.
I'm definitely the best one sitting in this seat right now.
Yeah. Well, congrats on getting that done, by the way.
Yeah. I've been busy since we got back from Osh, not just with work. I mean, I've been trying to be busy. I've been trying to get that. So my biannual flight review is due in June.
Yeah.
And we're in August. It's not for lack of trying. I've tried a few times here, weather delays. When I was out in California, I tried a couple of times to get a flight with the guy I did the spin training with to go do some aerobatic instruction and get my flight review done while I was with him. That didn't work out. Finally, when I was coming back, I set this schedule up, and it's like, one way or another, we're going to make this happen. And what it ended up being was I showed up at 1 o'clock to start the ground. So it was roughly 2 o'clock by the time we stepped to the airplane. 2 o'clock on August, whatever it is, in Houston, Texas. It was super hot, super uncomfortable. And then, logic would state, okay, well, we'll climb up and it'll get cooler, which it sort of did, but it also got a whole lot windier and a lot bumpier. There was a bunch of gliders up there flying because the thermal action was really good, which was not really good for all the stuff I was trying to do. And we went out to Navasota, did a few touch and goes there, and then came back and we did all our stuff en route. And it worked out. It was uncomfortable, but it's done, and I'm legal again. So
I wanted to ask you, how were your steep turns?
My steep turns were very steep.
Yeah.
They were good. Today was mostly about just fighting so we did this in a Piper Warrior.
Yeah.
With 2 full-size grown men in it. Mm-hmm. Really hot. I don't even know off the top of my head now what the density altitude was, but
probably had to be at least like 4,000. Yeah,
there was a couple of times where the VVI said we were climbing at almost 500 feet a minute, but the altimeter was not agreeing.
Yeah.
It was just barely creeping. Like, I don't think we're getting much higher today. Yeah. This is about all she's got. So, it was everything we could do. But
yeah. I wanted to ask you about that. It's been a long time since I've been current. And by the way, you kind of gave away the fact that you're like me, somebody who started their flying career in the 90s, or a long time ago, in other words, because you call it a biannual.
Oh, you're the second person to give me crap about that today.
Yeah.
I talked to my friend who's now, he's a captain with the regionals, and he just got hired on with Delta, and he's like, you're old because you're calling it a biannual, right? I'm like, whatever, shut up.
It still is biannual.
It still is biannual, but it's a flight review.
But we just don't call it that anymore.
Whatever, syndicate, whatever, call it whatever you want. I don't care.
Yeah. But I think today when I was driving around, I was thinking specifically about the last time I did mine. I'd watched a pretty good video from M0A, which I haven't seen any of their stuff in forever.
No.
But his thing on steep turns, he was demoing it in a Skyhawk, and I was flying in the Skyhawk. But it was like an exact number of turns of trim.
Oh,
Like roll in, count to 3, this many turns, and it just locks in. Like you're just hands off all the way around, and then switching the other direction, same thing. I was wondering if you had, when you do your steep turns, do you trim it a lot?
I usually give it a couple of turns of up trim before
Yeah.
I roll into it, and then I just do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
They're not bad. They're way better than they used to be when I was in training, obviously, but they can still be better.
Yeah.
They could definitely be better. I did watch, I don't even know how I ended up on it late last night, not sleeping. I watched a whole 40-minute video on the proper technique for making turns in an ag tractor. Not that it helped me with my flight review, but it was fun to watch. And I was like, oh, yeah, I never thought about that. They're getting sketchier as they lose weight because it's getting tail heavy, and they got to think about this.
And they break the wings off. Yeah.
And then they break their wings off. But
Yeah. Dang.
But hey, it helped. So
Well, you got to fly today.
I got to fly.
Yeah. And with the steep turns, like the cool thing, the steep turns is when you hit your own wake.
You get that bump right at the end.
Yeah. But today, it probably felt like that the whole way around.
I would never have noticed it. It was the whole time.
Yeah.
The only thing I could tell for sure is when the upwing got into the wind, because immediately you get blown a little more steep, like, oh, nope, there's the wind.
Yeah.
It was pretty violent out there.
Yeah.
It was very bumpy, very jarring a few times. Definitely flew through the wake of some other stuff. And there was a couple of people out there that I have no idea what they were doing in the practice area, but they were circling around us at almost co-altitude. And finally it's like, yeah, okay, we're just going to get out of here and go over here. Cause
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know what you're doing, but you're not really talking to anybody, and you're just kind of whatever. Yeah. So it's like, we'll just go over here.
No,
So-
that's uncomfortable, to say the least.
Yeah. But I mean, it went well. So when I got back from Oshkosh, I was highly motivated as well. I only had a few days, but I think by now everybody hopefully has gone and watched the video. But I got my throttle mounted, and I made templates for my custom side consoles out of cardstock material. And then came the dilemma of I needed to order metal to cut them out of. And the cheapness in me couldn't bring myself to do it, because when I added it to the card on spruce, I think it was like $45 or $40 for the sheet of aluminum I needed, and it was another $60 or $65 for shipping. And it's like, I can't pay more for shipping than the thing costs. It's just, it kills me. I did find a local metal supplier I probably could have gone and bought something similar to, not exactly what I wanted, and it would have been cheaper. But I went on my work trip thinking, okay, I'll figure out what I'm going to do about it. And then I was thinking, well, I've used Send Cut Send before. So, of course, I asked our good friend Claude, if I give you pictures of these templates, can you help me convert them to a DXF file? Sure. So as soon as I got back from this trip, I took the templates, took pictures of them, put marks on them so we could figure out sizes and stuff.
Yeah.
And it really didn't even take that long. I had a good working template that was a DXF file. I even printed out some sheets to compare it to make sure that what we had was identical. And both of those pieces sent to Send Cut Send, shipping and everything was, I think, about $10 more than just the material cost from spruce.
Dang.
So winner.
And done.
I mean, I didn't add, I have the notches cut out of it to go around the caps for the spar.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the hole cut out for the throttle, just because I was too afraid that it wouldn't line up. So I'll use the template when it shows up to mark it myself and cut the hole out. And I'll have to put the bend in it. But so those are on order. Maybe by this weekend I'll have them. There'll be an unboxing video, and we'll see what that looks like.
That's cool. Oh, okay. I had the weirdest dream. I had an airplane builder dream.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Maybe I have, and I don't remember. I don't know if I ever had airplane builder dreams. And so I was dreams are weird. They're not really.
Yeah, they're not based in reality too much.
Yeah. So the circumstance was where I am right now. Empennage is pretty much done. Wings are mostly done. Fuse isn't on order yet. And I got a phone call from a friend of mine, and he said, "Hey, man, I thought you didn't even have your fuselage in order yet. But, like, I drove by, and in your yard," I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So I go look out in my yard, and it's the whole airframe, like, put together in my yard. It's kind of an RV8. It's kind of not. I think I just seen a video on a Wilga.
You got the
so
AI version of an RV8.
So he has an RV8 with like really long gear and all this. And,
That's awesome.
And it even had a cowl, but like an aluminum cowl. And I was looking at it and I'm like, what happened? Like, I haven't ordered the fuselage yet. And so then in the dream, like in your conscious mind during the dream, you're trying to justify what you're looking at. So I'm looking at this and I go, oh, I know. Oh, so I don't have the fuselage yet, but I do have the skins. And apparently I just Cleco them all together. So there's no structure holding them together.
You just have skins that make up a fuselage, but nothing.
Yeah, you just Cleco them together in the general shape.
Seems legit.
Yeah, and it's all there. And I'm like, boy, that's a lot. But here's the weirdest part of the dream. As I'm standing there looking at it, and I'm like, there's like a whole freaking airplane. I just have to fill in the blanks sitting in my yard here. I just have to finish it up. But as I'm looking at it, in front of my eyes, it like patinas and gets like covered in like moss and stuff and ages like 100 years as I'm looking at it. And then I woke up and I was like, it felt very prophetic. Like, damn, son, you better start building on.
I was say, I think the message is pretty clear there. What you're trying to tell yourself.
I don't need anybody to interpret that.
No interpretation needed. I need to get back in gear and get it done before it ages.
Oh man, that's
hilarious.
That was depressing. I woke up like seriously, like 50% depressed, 50% ashamed.
I thought you were going to say it was like 3 a.m. and you went out there and started like deburring some holes or something just so you could say you were making some progress.
No, I'm actually screwed up from my short trip to the West Coast. I woke up and I was like, it's 8:30.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm still pretty screwed up from that one.
Yeah.
Things haven't settled quite in yet, which is nice because if I do get up early, it's cool in the garage and I can go out there and work.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I thought about this. So I like this setup. It's cool. It's more fun to record this way. It's easier to have a conversation without the latency and the worrying that, Jake is playing Medal of Honor or something like that.
Yeah. Using up all my bandwidth and we get the weird lag going on. So this is definitely nicer.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked outside of a tent.
Yeah. So one of the things I was thinking about for this was it would be cool to, in theory, it would be cool to record in the shop, but it is friggin' hot.
It's the wrong time of the year for that one.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah. So at some point we'll probably do that. And at some point we might just do like another fireside chat in the,
oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Out back.
Make the neighbors wonder what the hell's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. They're weird enough.
It did happen at Osh. We recorded outside of our tents. And then later on when I was trying to go to sleep, I could hear the people in the tent next to us wondering who the heck we were and what we were doing out there.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure out, like, should we know who they are?
Yeah. Obviously there were, two of the podcasts that I follow recorded episodes at Osh, as expected. A third one, they just weren't able to make it this year. They would have done it as well. But I want to say one of those, they streamed theirs. They did it live. I say that like it's a unique thing. They do all of their recordings live.
Oh, okay.
And then, they clean it up and it goes to audio and stuff like that. It's a cool idea. And it seems easy because we are so good at tech.
I know.
Clearly.
It should just all fall right into place. Yeah. The problem if we did like a YouTube live, part of it is you interact.
Yeah.
But that means that I got to put the glasses back on because I can't see crap right now. I wouldn't be able to read what's going on and be like, oh, look at all the conversations. People are having a good time. Meanwhile, they're screaming that I've got broccoli stuck in my teeth or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think it would be cool to do sometime.
I think it would be fun. Look, this turns into more of a community conversation because we have a global community that's already been established. Like just throngs of fans, all four corners of the globe.
Tens of them.
Obviously. But in order for something like that to work, where we can still be engaged in conversation, there needs to be somebody who's like a producer, like who keeps an eye on the chat, keeps us on track, does everything like that. And you and I had we've had sort of a running conversation about the community, and I'd had an idea. I thought it would be fun, and we didn't have anything ready in time for Osh, but it would be fun to have some merch.
Yes.
And for people who are like obviously just adoring fans. And so I was like, well, what do we call ourselves? Or what do we call the people who flock to our show? And we are not experts, an airplane building podcast. We are not experts. WANE. Wayne, that's dumb. We're not the Waynes.
We're not Wayne's World now.
Yeah, but the first thing that pops in my head is wanker. Like they're a bunch of wankers.
They're wankers.
Yeah.
We're all wankers.
Now, I know where we live, that's not an offensive term.
No.
It's funny, right? It's not, but I actually asked Claude, like before we talk about it.
Who is well versed in British slang and
Yeah. Apparently, in some cultures, it's quite offensive.
It's quite offensive.
But we're not going to take, every time you open up Claude or any other AI, it warns you that it could be wrong.
Oh yeah, it's been wrong.
And so we're not going to take it at face value. So we're putting it out to you guys in the community. Would you feel? Would you like, somewhat like, dislike, somewhat dislike, hate being referred to as a wanker? Would you wear
Wanker
something
merch
that identified you as a wanker? We want to know.
We need to know.
Yeah. Oh, and then also with the community, one thing that's been set up for many, many months, going all the way back to probably maybe even the first episode 20.
Which there's been many.
Yeah. For a long time, we have had a website. We are not experts. I hope I get this right. We are not experts podcast.com.
Yes.
Yeah. We are not experts podcast.com. And not only is it just a sort of a landing page for our website, but because Tim and I both have our individual build channels, you have a sort of portal to our channel separately. Big deal. That's easy to find. But one thing that we created was a search tool, which is completely unique. It is a way for you to, using the magic of AI, because I host it with my credits, and just ask plain language questions. Did Chris ever talk about riding motorcycles? Whatever. And quite a bit of work to get this done, and probably needs to be more work to actually maintain it. But there is a search tool. So if you have questions, build specific questions. Somebody asked me a question the other day about one of my videos. I actually went to the search tool to look up other times that I talked about this topic.
I did it a few days ago too. Same thing. Somebody asked me a question and I'm like,
yeah,
there's a handy tool for that. And I went and used it and I was like, Chris talked about his rivet removal tool on this episode. This is what it is.
Yeah.
Because I know somebody that desperately might need a rivet remoll tool right now.
And it was from that guy. He has cool 3 names and it's very cool. Jack Clark something. I'll have to look it up again.
Billy Joe Jimbo.
Yeah, the guy who sent me the river.
The guy who sent it to you.
Yeah. I need to. I hope we can hear from him again. I'm curious how he's doing. We did actually get some feedback. Well, our last episode we had quite a few comments on it, which was fun. There was one thing I don't even think I told you. it was a comment on my channel from our friend Jeff, and it was to flop or not to flop. And I told him that we would talk about it specifically on the next episode.
Are we talking about the tube?
Oh, there's a... Yes, we're talking about the tube.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So many ways this could go.
Yeah, Jeff is thinking about, eventually he's going to finish that empennage, and he's got his wing kit.
He does.
All ready to go. But his concern was that he had read that the flop tube, after a few years, you have to replace it because...
Gets stiff and doesn't flop.
Yeah, exactly.
Read the same thing after I installed one.
Right. Yeah. Did you ever look any deeper into that?
Nope. I know I read same thing that he's probably read, and same thing you read, and all of us have come across at some point when you do research, that the inner material, because the flop tube's braided stainless steel, but it's got an inner liner that's like PFTE or something like that.
Yeah.
And eventually it stiffens up over time. And once it does, the flop tube is no longer as floppy as it should be for what it needs to do, which would mean that it stays in its predominant position, which is down. So when you go inverted, it's not necessarily staying in the fuel anymore.
Yeah.
How would you know this?
You'd have to fly it upside down.
You'd have to fly it upside
long
down
enough
and,
to start a
and,
bit of fuel.
and sputter the tank. Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose you might see it in a loss of fuel pressure, but I don't know. And getting back into that tank to change that, because
that's not an easy thing, right?
Yeah, I tried when I had those leaks before I cut those holes.
Yeah.
One of the bays was that one right there, and I was like, well, I'll just take out the side access panel where the flop tube is now at, and there's no cinder in there.
Yeah.
I'll take that out so I can get in there and reseal it. I could not get it out.
You couldn't get that panel off?
Nope. I undid all the screws. I scored around the Sikaflex.
Okay.
I tried prying on it to the point where I was almost about to bend metal.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to break anything, but I couldn't get that thing to separate.
Yeah.
At all. So I was like, okay, this does not leak right now. I have to cut holes in other bays anyways.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the screws back in. I'm going to put a fresh thing of Sika around it to make sure I didn't break anything loose.
Pro Seal.
Yeah, Pro Seal. Sorry.
Yeah.
I keep saying Sika. Put a fresh thing around it, and I'll just cut another hole in the back of this one, and we'll move on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my hopes of getting into that tank again are pretty dashed. I know I probably could have put a bunch of heat on it and done it. If I really had to get in there, I'm sure I could.
I mean,
get
it can be done.
People have done
Jimmy helped somebody completely rebuild a set of tanks, meaning not build new tanks, rebuild. So completely disassemble, strip. So it can be done.
Yeah, at some point I would just buy new metal.
Yeah. That being said, I tried to do a little bit more research on Jeff's question, and I never came up with a firm like, oh yeah, this is the deal. But it is very likely that the flop tubes that we bought from Vans in the past couple of years are different than the
ones that cause the issues.
The materials have changed over time. So we'll see, But like you said, fly upside down long enough, find out.
That's the only way you're going to know.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Can't get in there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I even explained in the video when I made the decision to go ahead and do that. I didn't necessarily expect that I was going to be 90 seconds inverted, thrilling people at air shows. But part of what I'm doing when I'm building this airplane is learning. And so it doesn't cost me much to get this different experience and do this different thing.
Yeah.
It creates options for the future. In the future of like, yeah, I've already got that in there. Do think I want to fly 90 seconds upside down. Let's go ahead and do inverted oil or something like that.
Yep. I agree. I don't regret doing it. It was worth the cost to do it.
Right.
I know it's there. Will it keep flopping? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
And
I'm not going to do inverted.
One thing that
sustained.
I think you might not be in my camp on this specifically, but a lot of times when I hear people talking about the decisions they make when they're building their plane, they're like, well, someday resale value and stuff like that.
Nope.
No intention. Like that's just not me. Like I will not do that. And I don't mean like it's not a principle thing. Like I'm not a bargain hunter. Like I would rather just go in, make a purchase, whatever. I don't buy things on Marketplace. I don't sell things on Marketplace. Things live and die with me. But the other thing is I don't know how as much fun as I might have in this airplane over a number of years, I just don't know how great I would ever feel about selling an airplane that I built with my hands at the end of the day.
Fair enough.
But anyways, who knows how I'll feel about it in the future, but right now it does not affect, like the thought of resale value doesn't influence any of my decisions. I think of this as the thing that I'm building for myself to die in.
100% same way. Not saying I would never sell it, or there's a reason that I wouldn't have to sell it, but it's not a decision process at all.
Yeah.
None of the choices I make going into this plane are about, is this going to affect the resale? Will I be able to, I could care less.
Right.
It's my airplane. I'm building it to be my airplane, which is why I cut all those holes in it and did all the stuff I've done to it and taken the ridicule for it. It's my airplane, and I'm going to build it the way I want to build it and fly it the way I want to fly it. And yeah, so I don't think about it either.
Yeah. On the topic, sort of like dovetailing off of Jeff's question, I said earlier that I'd been doing research. I kind of have this thing with the phrase, I did research. No, you didn't.
It's fancier than saying I Googled.
Yeah, exactly. So I almost don't like to use that term anymore. So I did some learning or some studying, and a few things that I've been looking at the past few weeks, trying to learn more about SDS ignition and the fact that I need a fuel return line. And I don't think that my fuel tanks currently have any provision for a fuel return. So that's something that I wanted to talk to you about. I have to go in and repair leaks in that tank anyway. So I was going to pick your brain on how you did that. Did you put it into the second bay?
Yeah. So I was fairly certain that's the route I was going to go, but even if I wasn't, other systems, some of them have returns. So I wanted to put it in the tank, so I had the option. If I didn't use it, I just put a cap on it and it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's the same line as the feed, so I think it's a 3/8 line. It goes in high, and then goes through the first wall, through the first bay, into the second bay, and then it turns down at like a 45-degree angle or whatever.
Yeah.
It goes through a bulkhead fitting, I think, on the bulkhead wall, and then I think it's just sitting in the bay. I can't remember if I did anything with it other than Pro Seal.
Like where it passes through
the second bay.
Yeah.
And then I think that's it. Could you add it now? Yeah. Especially since you haven't put anything in the tanks.
Yeah.
You can make a hole and then just carry that hole through the first bay and make the second one, make your tube, stick it in there.
Yeah.
You just have to have either a way to get the jam nut on the backside for a bulkhead fitting, or you have to, Pro Seal something in there.
And when you did that, I mean, you did it as part of the construction, but it's to one tank?
No, it's to both.
To both tanks.
So the idea is whatever tank you're feeding on, you need a duplex fuel valve.
Yeah.
So whatever tank you're feeding from, your return is going back to that tank. So you're not transferring fuel from side to side.
So then on the tank that has the flop tube, I know you did it high, but did you move it a little bit forward so that the tube could still flow?
Yeah, it's far enough forward the tube's not going to touch it at all, no matter where it goes. I did think about it, and I flopped it around like, where's this going to go?
Okay, yeah. So for sure I have to get into the second bay anyways for the leaks are almost identical on the two. So the leaks along the baffle, they're accessible from the second bay. And then if I can reach through to the first bay, I can get up in the corner. But I might also, I really don't know. It's been so long if you can really reach through and do the backside of that bulkhead fitting.
Yeah, I don't know if you can or not.
Yeah.
But I mean, another option, which I know is not going to be popular with some people because I got comments when I did it last time.
Yeah.
You could do it yourself, or you could take it to a professional like I did. But since your tanks have never had fuel in them,
Yeah.
you could put your bulkhead fittings on your tank wall with the tube in it and just have somebody weld the fitting to the bulkhead.
Yeah.
And then smear a little Pro Seal around it just for good measure. But
Yeah. I certainly wouldn't be the one to
no,
weld
but
aluminum.
that's what I don't know if you remember, but that's what I did with my flop tube, because I was never happy with the retention method, because I didn't like the idea that a jam nut was holding it on the other side, and the thought that the flop tube could move around and eventually work that thing loose.
Yeah.
So mine is welded on the back side of that little doubler that it goes in.
Right. Yeah.
And then it's got the jam nut and the Pro Seal and everything on the outside, so that there's no way my flop tube can ever break my fitting loose. It can break the fitting, I suppose, but it can't break the fitting loose.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about a leak there.
Let's see. Now I'm trying to remember. I know that there was a lot of safety wiring that was involved in that on the back side of the flop tube. I'll have to go back and look at.
Yeah, for the B-nut that holds it onto the fitting.
Yeah.
But I'm talking specifically about that 90-degree fitting that goes through the bulkhead. I had that welded
Okay.
because I didn't like... And it's not welded completely. He welded as much around it as he could, but where the 90 sticks out, he couldn't get under there.
Right.
So that part's not... But I wasn't worried about it. I just needed it to physically hold.
Yeah.
And then it has a whole bunch of Pro Seal around it, just like it normally would have with the B-nut on it, or the jam nut, not the B-nut.
Okay. So that's one of the things that I've been looking at, is just learning about the SDS.
So are you thinking about it for everything? Like ignition and fuel injection?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely a good time to think about it, because the fuel pump is different, obviously.
Right.
So you want to think about that. I don't think you necessarily need it as early as I got mine. I just wanted to be able to mount it while I still had good access to do it. Definitely before you put the belly skins on, because once you do that, you've got no way to get under there.
Yeah.
I was just talking to somebody who's done that. Somebody bought a already made fuselage by somebody else. And one of the dilemmas he has is it's mostly built. The belly skins are on. Nobody ever put a provision in for nut plates for a fuel pump. Not even the stock Vans one.
Yeah.
So now he's looking at options for it. Nutserts are probably the most likely option for something like that, but definitely better to think about it now while you still have access to that kind of stuff. Same thing with my batteries. I wouldn't have been able to do those batteries where I did if I didn't have access to put the nut plates in. And those, I probably wouldn't feel as comfortable with nutserts, I think, as nut plates, just because I feel like they're a little stronger.
Uh-huh.
Not that the batteries are terribly heavy, but they're heavy enough, and I'm going to be yanking and banking in the plane. I don't want them turning into little wrecking balls down there.
So on the electrical topic, the other thing that I've been looking at recently is the Monkworks backup generator.
Yeah. It's part of my system.
Huh? Oh, you're doing... Okay.
Yep. So with an electrically dependent engine,
Yeah.
you want choices,
Yeah.
which is why I have 2 batteries and 2 sources of engine generated power. I have the alternator, and I'm going to have the Monkworks backup generator, because I have a vacuum pad that's not going to have anything on it. Anyways, it's perfect. It's not going to get used. It'll be armed and ready in case it has to take over, but it's not going to be used normally. So for me to lose power for the engine to die, I have to lose 4 separate sources of power.
Right. Yeah.
And if that happens, I'm having a much, much worse day than just the engine dying, honestly. But one of my batteries is dedicated for the engine. In fact, it's isolated to the engine. I can run the engine without the contactor being closed or anything. It's technically a hot battery bus, although everything goes through fuses and breakers.
Yeah.
But if I can close the contactor, then I can still power that bus from the other battery if I need to, if that one should take a crap on me, or from either one of the other available sources. So
Yeah.
there's options.
So that first came into my awareness because of Austin Mankey.
Did he do SDS?
No, the Monkworks.
Oh, the Monkworks generator. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember a video, when I say recently, he hasn't published a lot in the past many months, but it was one of his more recent videos. And then there was, and then recently, we ran into him and his wife at Osh.
Yep.
And we were kind of looking at the new FlyLEDs setup, and then Austin ended up making a video with those guys about it. And to my surprise, Austin hasn't done his because he's so far along in that RV10 build, but he hadn't even made a purchase yet for his wingtip lights, and that's what those new lights are about. They're specifically for.
They are really nice.
Yeah,
They're fancy.
yeah,
I would have gone that route if I had the choice.
yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah, but it's not even for us. Not even for the 8. It's the dimensions of that.
Oh, it won't fit the 8?
Right. We the 8 actually has more real estate there. In the 10, it is it's a narrower bit of real estate. But yeah, that's what they're for. So I feel good about it because I'm like, wow, timing was good for Austin, and also I'm not going, man, I got the old ones.
My plane is going to be so well lit, it's not even going to be fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to look like a 737 on approach.
Yeah.
It's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like the system. I like the idea of it. Hopefully it works out. Will I do it? Would I choose something like that for every airplane? No. I think it makes sense for one that's not necessarily you're relying on it to get you out of backcountry places or things like that.
Yeah.
But I feel more than comfortable, flying it and doing whatever else needs to be done with it. And the idea of having modern ignition, modern fuel injection, and the ultimate tunability it gives you, like you can tweak each cylinder individually and balance the engine out, or you can see different problems you wouldn't normally see. I think it'll be a good thing to have. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Once I kind of looked more, I mean, obviously it was because you were doing it that I was aware of it. But once I started just like, I'm going to sit down and just kind of go through this guy's library. And I don't know if you were telling, but his website is the worst.
Yeah, it is horribly bad.
The worst.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he makes some nice looking products.
Yeah, the system that's created is great. So, speaking of nice looking products, you have a little show and tell.
Oh yeah,
we're running out of time. You need.
All right, hang on. Okay, stay.
Yeah. What do you got for us?
I have a wee little box. So, aviation is expensive.
It is.
And this looks like it could be a ring box for the fairer sex, perhaps, if they were into it. Maybe if it was Tiffany blue, I could justify how much this box costs.
Uh-huh.
The contents of this box cost, I think, $172 from Aircraft Spruce. Roughly the same price if I bought it from the manufacturer of this product, which is Steinair. So I'll let you have that. If you rip it. I don't care. It's not the box that's important. And that is one of 3 that I need. And I only bought one now to test fitment on my panel.
So this is like a legit Gasper vent.
It's a vent. Yeah. I mean, the machining is beautiful. It is an awesome looking part. It is stupid expensive.
That is a lot of money for that.
Yeah. And like I said, I got to buy 2 more. One more for my seat and one for the back seat. Or I just say to heck with the back seat and you just get a hose.
So you went ahead and got this one just because you needed it for fitment?
Yeah, I mean, I need them all anyways.
Yeah, but I mean...
I needed to check fitment on the right panel. They look symmetrical, but one is just ever so slightly off, and it's the right panel because it sits so close to the second dynon screen.
Yeah.
So I needed to check, is it going to clear the weird little angle brace that's in an RV8, which it does.
Yeah.
And is it going to clear the bezel on the dynon, which it may not. It might have to get a little modification, but overall the location's going to work. So there we go. Now I only have 2 more I got to buy.
Well, you're 1/3 more ventilated than you were before.
I'm a third more ventilated. Yeah. So there you go. It is beautiful machining. It is a nice piece. Is it almost $200 nice? Yeah. It's going to take a while for me to get over that one.
Yeah. Well, 2 questions for you on the way out. What's next building? What's immediately on your plate?
I am currently putting in the pitch control system, or building the pitch control system. So working on a video for that now. I should be able to get that done before my next trip.
Uh-huh.
And just putting in flight controls basically so that I need to get everything into the floor. I think it's this, the rudder cables, and then the flap motor. And then I think I'm pretty much done with the underfloor, and I can put the floors in. I might not rivet them in, but I can put them in, and they can hopefully stay in because the wiring's all in there now.
Yeah.
Or I at least have conduit to pass more wiring if I need to.
So a few weeks ago, when you mounted the empennage, I described it as now it's a directionally stable canoe.
Yes.
And now you're working on flight control, so it'll be directionally dynamic.
Yes.
Canoe.
It's a controllable dart.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it should work out fine. More 3D printing opportunities because more drill guides for push-pull tubes and painting that I didn't do on the others that I need to go back and do because they're raw aluminum apparently, and you got to protect them.
Yeah. You were very cavalier about that.
Yeah, I just throw caution to the wind. More than likely, I just forget stuff, and I'm going to be looking at this thing for a while like, did I really go back and do that, or did I not?
I remember you telling me that you didn't.
I know you told me, and then I had to go out there and pull the push. We're talking about the push-pull tubes for the wings, by the way.
The long ones.
Yeah. I built them. The steel ones, the steel ones are powder coated, and I did paint the inside of all the steel ones. But the aluminum ones, I didn't do anything with. I just built them. So I'm going to go back. I ordered some corrosion preventative stuff that's supposed to be good for putting inside of stuff like that. Rather than paint the inside, I'm going to put a bunch of this stuff in there, swirl it around, call it a day, and I'm going to paint the outside. And then that's it.
Oh, the second question for you. You did your BFR today.
Yes, I did.
Any plans to maintain your currency?
Yeah, I'm going to try. There's kind of a deal right now, so I'm going to see if I can get in on some of it because the flight school, the Archer that I normally fly, just got a paint job and it got a brand new engine. So for the first 25 hours of break-in, it's not allowed to do touch and goes or a bunch of other stuff. And because it's restricted, they're giving a discount on top of the discount I already get if you go fly it. So I might take advantage of some of that and go rent it and go fly around because, okay, so it's a new engine. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm already going to be a test pilot once. I might as well do it for one of the flight school planes.
Yeah, that's good. Well, let's see. For me, I've got same place I was. I just need to finish up these projects so I can just grab moments out there and get these things done. I'll probably hassle you about some scrap wire laying around from work.
I've got a bunch of it.
Yeah. And then other than that, I need to go. I said I wanted to do it in the spring. I've been so busy I haven't, but I need to just go get my medical again after so long. I meant to ask you, do you remember that one day at the EAA meeting, the guy who lives up there
at Waverly?
At Waverly.
Airport?
Yeah.
I have his info.
You did take it. Okay. Yeah. He's an AME, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, that question's been on the tip of my tongue for like
I think
6
he only
weeks.
does basic med now.
Oh, okay.
But that's why I took it because
Yeah.
I'll just go see him when it's time to renew it.
Yeah. He's probably still worthwhile to talk to for a consult, I think.
I'm sure he would be.
Yeah.
And he's looking for a partner on a rocket. Just saying.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Actually, he's looking for 2 partners, I think, on a rocket. And it's like, no.
Let's see. Well, I think we hit our mark here.
All right.
You might have noticed that we didn't have any news today.
No.
Yeah. It's amazing the effort it takes us to produce such a feeble product. But if you guys have any input, suggestions, questions, comments, please send us some feedback at wearenotexpertspodcast.com. We actually have a very convenient way to provide feedback there. But we want to know if you wankers are fine with being referred to as wankers and would like to identify as such. We will try to come up with some...
I hope so, because the possibility for merch is just so brilliant at that point. But, but we'll see. It's whatever. It's whatever the masses want.
Yeah. And hey, if you're a wanker, why not invite others to be wankers too? So this has been episode 22, I promise.
Absolutely.
Episode 22. of We Are Not Experts, an airplane building podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Tim.
We'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one.
Oh, you're still here. That was episode 22. Tim built things. Chris had a dream about building things. They have also decided to call you a wanker. They did look it up first. It said yes. They're putting it to a vote anyway. So vote. Subscribe. Send your feedback to we'renotexpertspodcast.com and do invite other wankers. I'm Nigel. They'll be back. They always come back.